Hello everyone. We'll wait for some time for people to tune in. And let me just quickly pick up a few instruments close by. Hello, one second, sorry. Yeah, hello everyone. So, hi, very excited to be with you all for today's session. खूप मजा करू. गप्पा गोष्टी होतील, कमेंट्सची उत्तर द्यायला मला खूप आवडेल. अँड बट सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द सेशन, hello, hi. So before starting the session, let me quickly introduce you myself. कुजागिरी पौर्णिमाच्या सर्वांना शुभेच्छा. आणि हो तर आपण सो आय एम मधुर पडवळ. My name is Madhur Padwal and I'm a music composer, multi-instrumentalist, arranger, a fine artist, tattoo artist, a scriptwriter. But पण like today I'm going to be sharing with you my little journey of my life, which I have named as Folkswagen. It's a project about Indian folk music and a lot more. आणि मी तुम्हाला ही माझी म्युझिक रूम आहे, तुम्ही मागे बघत असाल काही इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स दिसतात आहेत. सो आय एम गोना बी टेकिंग यू ऑन अ क्विक टूर अक्रॉस माय म्युझिक रूम ॲज वेल. आणि मी तुम्हाला ह्या इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्सचा परिचय करून देणार आहे. या थँक्यू. या हे इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स मी कसे जमा केले, हाऊ I would go to different Indian states. So basically, just a brief that I play more than 50 musical instruments, and most of these instruments are rare and authentic Indian and world folk musical instruments from across the globe, but mainly India and different Indian states from all parts of India basically. And in the last 9 or 10 years, I have been traveling to research about Indian folk art and culture from different Indian states, different Indian parts, and from tribes, traditional families of musicians, traditional artists, folk culture. It's not only about music, but about their songs, their instruments, how are they made, how are their art. I have stayed with these artists जे एकदम रिमोटेस्ट पार्ट्स मधले आहेत इंडियाच्या, लाईक एक्स्ट्रीम ट्रायबल झोन, extreme remote parts. I have gone in search of these artists and I've spent days with them to understand their culture and music and art forms. So let me quickly take you, before it's too late, let me quickly take you on a musical tour across my music room, and let's start from here. So this is like the different rhythm instrument collection basically that I have in my family. Basically, this is the Adivasi Madhur from parts of western parts of Bengal, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand region basically. Then we have Urumi here, which is from Tamil Nadu. It's a folk instrument of Tamil Nadu. We have the Bengali khol. We have the darbuka, the Egyptian darbuka. I have the Turkish darbuka here. We have the naut. Then let me take you here. We have the Bihu Dol, Assamese Bihu Dol. We have Bhapang, Gupchu, a very old collection of vintage Nagada. We have Punjabi Third. फिर उसके बाद है एक तारा, फिर सरिंदार, and then tarpa. Then here a few of my percussion instrument collections we have. इसमें बहुत सारे पर्कसिव इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, जैसे द कोकोनट शेल वुडन शेकर. और फिर यहाँ पे कुछ इंटरनेशनल स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, जैसे ये साज है, विच इज़ अ 7 स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्लेड इन मिडल ईस्ट. जैसे बहुत सारे जॉर्डन, टर्की, अरेबिक म्यूजिक. ऊद है. वी हैव द पर्शियन डफ. And then coming to some of my Indian string instruments, Afghanistan. This is the rabab actually. It's played in Afghanistan. It's played in parts of Kashmir as well. We have Ravanhatta, we have Rivana, Khamuk, Dotara, and Tumbi. So yes. So I will be taking you all. I'll be. Sorry. एक एक करके इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के बारे में मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि इसकी हिस्ट्री क्या है या फिर इसको कैसे बनाया जाता है, what material has been used, या फिर what's the essence of these instruments in those family of traditional musicians and artists or traditions where it's used or it's performed. So before starting, आप सबको मेरी मेरी तरफ से and first of all before starting anything I would really from the bottom of my heart wish to thank you Shankar Sheikh Foundation for having me today on this platform, Kathan, and letting me share my experience and performing on this platform. So सभी को आपके फाउंडेशन की सभी मेंबर्स को मेरी ओर से बहुत इसकी कोजागिरी पूर्णिमा की शुभकामनाएं, मेरे अपने सभी दर्शकों को ईद की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. एंड बिफोर स्टार्टिंग, सो एवरी टाइम जैसे शंख होता है या फिर कोई हॉर्न होता है, लाउड एनर्जी सोर्स ऑफ म्यूजिकल एनर्जी या फिर साउंड ऑडियो एनर्जी होती है एक जो प्रोड्यूस करती है. सो दिस इज लेट्स स्टार्ट विद आवर फर्स्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर द इवनिंग एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड जेम जी और द नागा हॉर्न. और ये नागालैंड जो स्टेट है उस स्टेट का इंस्ट्रूमेंट है. एंड इट्स हिस्ट्री इसको एक बाइसन हॉर्न से बनाया जाता है. दिस इज लाइक अ बाइसन हॉर्न, बट द हिस्ट्री इज दैट दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड द like a war. This used to be used in the, because Nagaland is a bordering state and it's a hardcore tribal state, तो उसके war zone के टाइम इसका यूज होता था. एंड लेट्स स्टार्ट विद इट. Yeah. So yeah, with the energy, एक छोटा सा गीत related to the occasion and the day, and to start the day with. शरद पूनमनिया रातड़ी हे जो एने आज चांद उग्यो आकाश ए विसरगी सरगी साहिलड़ी ए विसरगी सरगी साहिलड़ी हे जो रमुआ साथे रात. So yeah, so quickly I'll just start introducing you. So it's Volkswagen. I'll tell you a bit about Volkswagen, the project Volkswagen. Volkswagen is a project about Indian folk music and a lot more, like I previously said. जिसमें कई सारे पार्ट्स हैं, बट मेरा मेन इंटेंशन इज टू स्टडी एज मच इंडियन फोक म्यूजिक एंड ट्रेडिशनल म्यूजिक एज पॉसिबल और वो लोगों तक पहुंचाना. तो देयर आर डिफरेंट 29 स्टेट्स, इंडियन स्टेट्स, जिसमें बहुत सारे सब ट्राइब्स, सब कल्चर्स, सब ट्रेडिशंस है हर एक स्टेट में. तो हर एक स्टेट में जाके उन चीजों को लाइक बारीकी से पढ़ाई करके, लाइक फ्रॉम द रियल आर्टिस्ट. इट्स नॉट दैट आई गो एंड सर्च, बिकॉज इसकी कई सारी इंफॉर्मेशन यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल नहीं है, गूगल पे अवेलेबल नहीं है. तो ऐसे एक दिन मुझे थॉट आया. बेसिकली आई वाज ऑन अ टूर परफॉर्मिंग इन राजस्थान व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू प्ले माय बेसिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट वाज द गिटार, और मैं कुछ टूर के लिए राजस्थान में था. तभी मैंने एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट देखा था जिसका नाम है रावणहत्ता. और वो साउंड मैंने जब भी सुना था वहां पे एक आर्टिस्ट को बजाते हुए, तो साउंड had taken me off. मतलब it completely pulled me towards it, the instrument. और मैं इतना उस मतलब I'm gonna show you the instruments for रावणहत्ता. This is the instrument, Ravanhatta. एंड और जब भी मैं टूर से वापस आया, सो लाइक द साउंड केप्ट ऑन मूविंग इन माय हेड, जो मैंने सुना था वहां पे उनको बजाते वक्त, एंड इट केप्ट ऑन मूविंग इन माय हेड। और मुझे ऐसा लगा कि आई शुड गो बैक एंड प्रॉब्ली लर्न द इंस्ट्रूमेंट और ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर मोर एंड एटलीस्ट नो मोर अबाउट द इंस्ट्रूमेंट। तो then I went back to Rajasthan in search of this instrument because I tried searching for it back then in 2011 or so कि इसकी कुछ information online मिल रही है क्या, like on if I could know more about it on Google or YouTube or any other source of information, but like there was not much information about the thing। तो मैं वहां पे जाके गली गली में ढूंढ रहा था कि कोई मुझे ऐसे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बजाने वाले मिलेंगे या फिर उनसे मैं इसके बारे में जान सकूं। एंड समहाउ आई मेट वन पर्सन, बहुत दिन घूमने के बाद मुझे किशन जी करके जो रावणत्ता प्लेयर है, किशन जी भोपा, उनकी कम्युनिटी है बेसिकली जो रावणत्ता सालों साल बना रहे हैं और बजाते हैं। तो उनको मैं मिला, उनके साथ मेरी मतलब काफी अच्छी दोस्ती होगी, एंड देन ही टॉट मी दिस एंड देन आई बॉट द इंस्ट्रूमेंट फ्रॉम हिम, एंड दैट इज हाउ माय जर्नी स्टार्टेड, द फोक्सवैगन जर्नी। So that's the instrument रावणत्ता, जिसमें it has 17 strings, दो मेन स्ट्रिंग्स के अलावा इसमें और 15 strings 17 strings है, and this is played in the state of Rajasthan। राजस्थान में बजाया जाता है काफी सारी जगहों पे, टूरिस्ट प्लेसेस पे if you go you'll be able to see a lot of these musicians playing it around the forts and tourist places in Rajasthan। So this opened up a door in my life, this instrument basically opened up a door in my life, and उसके बाद मैंने सोचा कि अगर मैं रावणत्ता सीख सकता हूँ, एंड इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, जितने भी मैं 50 से ज्यादा साज बजाता हूँ इसमें सबसे ज्यादा मुझे पर्सनली लगता है कि वन ऑफ द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स टू लर्न एंड प्ले इज रावणत्ता। और पहली बार मैंने जब इंस्ट्रूमेंट उठाया था, लाइक हाथ में लिया था, तभी मैं जान चुका था कि देख इट्स गोना बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू लर्न दिस, but it's very interesting and it opened a door in my life that it made me think that if I can learn this instrument, then maybe I can travel to some other state as well to learn folk instruments from that state. Then I could probably travel to some other state as well. And there's so much, it's not only about one state. एक state के अंदर काफी सारे सब कल्चर्स है बेसिकली। सो इफ आई गो टू बंगाल में रविंद्र संगीत है, बाउल म्यूजिक है, अलग अलग टाइप के ट्रेडिशनल म्यूजिक है। तो वैसे ही राजस्थान में है, वैसे ही आसाम में है, वैसे ही कश्मीर में है, वैसे ही हिमाचल प्रदेश में है। एंड द जर्नी देन स्टार्टेड गेटिंग मोर इंटरेस्टिंग एंड और फिर मैंने थाम लिया कि बिकॉज जब भी मैं ऐसे आर्टिस्ट को मिलता था, जैसे फोक आर्टिस्ट, ट्रेडिशनल आर्टिस्ट को मिलता था, आई वुड प्रॉब्ली बाय कॉन्वर्सेशन और स्पेंडिंग टाइम विद देम आई वुड रियलाइज दैट अभी टेक्नोलॉजी जो है, टेक्नोलॉजी हैज रीच्ड each and every corner of not only the country but the planet basically। हर एक घर में फोन है, हर एक घर में इंटरनेट पहुंच चुका है बेसिकली। So the next generation of traditional musicians and artists have got a source of entertainment. बेसिकली फोक म्यूजिक या फोक कल्चर एक ऐसी चीज है जैसे गाँव में एंटरटेनमेंट की सोर्स, देयर वाज नो एंटरटेनमेंट सोर्स अर्लियर, तो फिर लोग इकट्ठा होके गाने गा रहे हैं, जैसे बेसिकली शाम के वक्त का टाइम पास हो जाए, फेस्टिवल्स के दरमियान मिलके कुछ कर रहे हैं. So that would make it like those songs would turn into folk songs of that community or folk music of that community, and or folk art forms or folk dances. जैसे कुछ फीमेल ओरिएंटेड लाइक वुमेन ओरिएंटेड आर्ट फॉर्म्स है, कल्चरल फॉर्म्स है. So I realized कि जो next generation है, they have started losing interest in continuing these art forms for a reason that internet and different sources of entertainment have already reached different corners of the country. So जब भी मैं इनके जो भी ये प्रैक्टिस करते हैं एज इन और परफॉर्म करते हैं ये आर्ट फॉर्म्स, ट्रेडिशनल आर्ट फॉर्म्स, तो उनसे जब भी बात करता तो ये उनकी भी यही परेशानी है कि लाइक हमारे बच्चे इसको कंटिन्यू नहीं करना चाहते. But at the same time, I also realized that there's so much immense power, emotions, expressions in Indian folk music of different types. Okay, I thought that I should probably take it up as an opportunity to learn these from these different musicians and try to connect it to people. Because one more thing that I realized was people from a certain state would know there's the folk forms and folk music and folk dances and art forms happening in that state. बट यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र में कोई है, उनको शायद से पता ना होगा कि आसाम के कल्चरल फॉर्म्स क्या है, फोक फॉर्म क्या है. वहां के लोगों को शायद पता नहीं होगा कि बंगाल में क्या चल रहा है या फिर पंजाब में क्या चल रहा है डिटेल्स में. So that is why it initiated the idea that I should probably learn and through different various sources, live concerts, through social media, try to reach it to as many as possible. The next instrument that I would probably want to share with you is this instrument here in my hand, and इसे पेपा कहते हैं, और ये आसाम जो स्टेट है वहां का एक फोक इंस्ट्रूमेंट है जिसके बिहू के दरमियान बजाया जाता है. ये जुरिया पेपा है जो मेरे ये हाथ में. इफ यू सी देयर आर टू bamboos here. It's made of 3 different types of bamboos. Basically, one type is this, the 2 things. Other type is this, and there's another reed inside it, and buffalo horns basically. So that's what the pepa is made of. और पेपा की खासियत ये है कि इसे म्यूजिशियन एक बार बजाने शुरू करते हैं तो दे हैव टू the sound shouldn't stop basically. So I'll be playing the single one because the double one gets too louder for me in this room. So for you guys, I'll start playing this, some tunes or some music on paper. So that's the pepa played in Assam. So not when I started picking up these instruments, and as time started passing on, and I started enjoying and started practicing more and more of these instruments. One thing I realized that people, when they get to know about this, इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट स्टेट्स. जैसे अभी मैंने आपको कहा कि ये पेपा है, शायद से काफी सारे लोगों को पता नहीं होगा कि इसको पेपा बोलते हैं या फिर ये बफेलो हॉर्न और बाम्बू से बनाया जाता है. The interesting thing is, more and I started getting a feedback that more and people actually started enjoying the type of music that's played in different parts. पहले हम लोग के पास ज्यादा सोर्सेज नहीं होते थे, बेसिकली इंटरनेट नहीं था, बहुत पहले इंटरनेट नहीं था, या फिर इवन आफ्टर आफ्टर इंटरनेट वाज देयर, इंटरनेट केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस, मोस्टली वी wouldn't know that certain type of folk music is performed in certain region. That's why we would probably never know about the instruments and thing. So जैसे पेपा है और कनेक्ट यू, मेरे हाथ में और एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट है. सो विद इंडियन फोक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स I started to explore a bit more about folk instruments played in different parts of the world as well. And since we are on the wind instrument, I'll play another wind instrument which is called sipsi, and it is a Turkish folk instrument, sipsi. So yeah, sipsi. And if you observe, like once I start playing, so that is basically the technique. One technique that's been used in playing these type of instruments is once the sound starts, you cannot stop the sound of these instruments. And so yeah, so the next instrument, let's pick up a rhythm instrument. I would like to show you a rhythm instrument, and this one's the naut. It's called a naut. और जैसे साउथ इंडियन कर्नाटिक म्यूजिक या साउथ इंडियन फोक म्यूजिक में घट्टम का यूज होता है, इस्तेमाल होता है. कश्मीरी म्यूजिक में नाउट, दुम्बेकनारी, नाउट, इन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स का यूज होता है. एंड so this is the naut played in Kashmir, parts of Kashmir and Kashmiri folk music. Or so basically, let's structure our tour today. Volkswagen is a wagon which will take you all on a journey, on a tour across India, not only across India but some parts of world as well. तो जैसे हम लोग नॉर्थ की ओर पहुंचे हैं, maybe let's come down a bit from north. और this so कश्मीर के पास में जो हिमाचल प्रदेश स्टेट है, हिमाचल प्रदेश स्टेट है. हिमाचल प्रदेश में काफी सारे टूरिस्ट स्पॉट्स पे, जैसे खजियार है, चंबा, खजियार स्पेशली एंड ऑल. If you go, sometimes you have seen these instrument players, musicians, folk musicians, sitting besides the valley and singing songs. जिनके पास एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है जिसको रिवाना बोलते हैं, रिवाना. सो बेसिकली रिवाना हैज इट्स, उसकी डुग्गी होती है बेसिकली, जो यहाँ पे वो बांध के उसके रिदम भी बजाते हैं इंस्ट्रूमेंट म्यूजिशियंस. they play the strings और वो गाना गाते हैं. तो मे बी एक हिमाचली फोक सॉन्ग है which is a conversation between a mother and her daughter. And the daughter asks her mother, how far is Chamba from this way? Because I had been to Chamba once, and और वहां पे मैंने एक लड़का देखा था, एंड और मैं उसे चाहने लगी हूँ. And it's a sweet conversation, like a daughter mother conversation with and the daughter says like it's probably मेरे आंखों का कसूर है. It's like it's my eyes who are supposed to be blamed for this because I've fallen for the guy. So that's the song. This is like a folklore kind of a song. So yes, some Himachal Pradesh there for you. On and the next instrument that I would like to show you. In fact, I would like to tell you something about this, which makes me again think about us, like people, we as human beings, we as Indians, unity and diversity, and a lot more. So, मेरे हाथ में दो instruments हैं. Basically, this is called the khamok. Which happens to be an instrument played in parts of Bengal, and it's widely used by the Baul community in their music. If you see, there are two strings attached to it. This one on the right is the bukchu. The bukchu is played. It's also called bhapang. It's also called bhapang, and it's played in Punjab, Rajasthan, and other parts, Haryana. Right, and it's got one fat string here. Similarly, there is an instrument called as okay, mine is not here. It's called as chonka, which happens to be Maharashtrian folk instrument. But the difference, see, this has got a curve outside. Now this one's a different shape. Chonka is like straight, but same principle. So basically, like there are more instruments similar principles from different Indian states. But each and every one has its own unique identity. Basically, we as Indians probably what I think is like we are basically one. Like no matter from which state we are, हम लोग की भाषाएं अलग है. इथे महाराष्ट्रात मराठी बोलले जाते, बंगालमध्ये बंगाली, आसाममध्ये आसामीज, राजस्थानमध्ये मारवाडी, गुजराती, साऊथमध्ये मल्याळम, तमिळ. So, but what one thing stays common, and I've always believed that it's kept us bound together not only in India but across the world, across the globe, and that's music. It's like a universal language basically, and so I'll quickly play a few rhythmic things. So the khamu widely used by the bowls basically, and it's a rhythmic, but at the same time it's got a pitch as well from the strings. So this is the sound of the khamu, and if you see the difference, even though the principle is same, but the phapang or the bupchu sounds a bit different. And since we are near to the vibrant state of Punjab, let me quickly show you this chottu instrument. It's called tumbi, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard the sound. इसका आवाज आप सभी ने सुना हुआ है. It's widely used in Punjabi folk music, but since Punjabi folk music basically has a lot of elements already connected to Bollywood music, so maybe a lot of you might have heard the sound. महाराष्ट्रातल्या महाराष्ट्रातला तुंतुन राईट तुंतुन सारखंच महाराष्ट्रातली एकतारे पण असते बेसिकली तुंतुना किंवा एकतारे, आणि तसेच ही एक वेगळ्या प्रकारचं एकतारा आहे, बेसिकली एकतारे आहे, आणि ज्याच्यामध्ये बांबू चिरून ते बनवली जाते आणि ह्याच्यात करवंटी वापरली जाते, आणि खाली स्किन असते बेसिकली. आणि So this is ek tara, basically ek tara. Uh, maybe थोड़ा सा uh, so yeah, so थोड़ा सा we'll go on a world tour and then come back again to continue our journey with the other Indian instruments. And maybe I would also like to share मतलब ज्या जर्नीज बेसिकली ह्या प्रत्येक टूरच्या मागे एवढे एक्सपिरियन्सेस माझ्या आठवणी आहेत. Breathtaking experiences, some life mishaps could have happened on these tours. So I'll be sharing all of them with you. But then before that, let us just make the mood a little more energetic, basically. So this here is the darbuka, basically. आणि दरबुका हे जे इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आहे बेसिकली वेगळ्या वेगळ्या प्रकारचे दरबुका, बट इट्स वाइडली यूज्ड इन मिडल ईस्टर्न म्युझिक, अरेबिक म्युझिक, मिडल ईस्टर्न फोक म्युझिक, टर्किश म्युझिक, इजिप्शियन म्युझिक, हे जसं या पार्ट आहे बेसिकली. अँड इट्स if you've heard about belly dancing or that Arabic music flavor, this is widely used with that. And maybe one second, let me show you another one, which is a bit heavy. Yeah. So this is another type of a darbuka basically. And maybe for this, that's the sound. Okay. So maybe just for a fun element for each and every one of you here joining, who's tuned in, basically you guys could just groove to it and yeah, move your bodies. And so maybe if you allow me to use a backing track on that, so I'll just so that it becomes one. So yeah, so that's the darbuka. दरबुका हे तिकडचं फोक इन्स्ट्रुमेंट. हो हो नक्कीच हो, म्हणजे ट्रेडिशनल इन्स्ट्रुमेंट म्हणता येईल ऍक्च्युली दरबुका. मिडल ईस्ट मधलं बऱ्याच साऱ्या कंट्रीज आहेत जसं मी मेन्शन केलं, काही इजिप्तमध्ये त्याचा फार वापरतो, सिरियामध्ये वापरतो, टर्कीमध्ये वाईडली वापर होतो, युएई अरेबिक म्युझिक मध्ये खूप वापर होतो याचा. तर नक्की फोक ट्रेडिशनल इन्स्ट्रुमेंट नक्कीच म्हणता येईल तिकडचं ट्रेडिशनल रिदम इन्स्ट्रुमेंट, आणि इट्स वन ऑफ द मेन rhythm instruments of the region. So from darbuka, there's this another cute little instrument I've got. ह्याला पेणा म्हणतात. इसे पेणा कहते हैं. और पेणा जो इंडियन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में मणिपुर जो स्टेट है, लाइक मणिपुर स्टेट में का एक फोक इंस्ट्रूमेंट है. And there it's been used. So basically the sound, it's just got one string. But it's got a nice, I would say like a little intense kind of sound. One sec. Okay. So that's the Prina from Manipur. Uh, One second. Baby, let's do a bit of more singing and. Okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys are having fun, and I'm really glad that I'm able to share with you all my journey and sounds of these instruments, these rare instruments. Let's move on to another instrument, which is beautifully made, and I'm very lucky to have this, especially this piece in my hand, which ages about 70, 80 odd years. Actually, it's a very old piece, and yeah, it's called Dotara, Sanjay ji. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like a mini sarod actually, and it has a sound like that, and it's called the Dotara, basically, and it's widely again played in this one. And there are different types of Dotaras. This one in my hand is the Bengali Dotara, which is the Bengali Dotara. There's another one here. This one's a Kaido Tara, and the Kaido Tara it's played in the state of Meghalaya in northeast. There's another Dotara which is the Assamese Dotara. Okay, so for now let's do no fretboard. This doesn't have a fretboard. It's like a smooth, no fretboard at all. Yeah. So I'll probably. I'll do a bowl song for you guys. So, in Volkswagen, it's for me personally, it's not just studying these instruments, but I believe that I should spend time. मुझे लगता है कि वहाँ पे जाके time spend. तो every time I plan a research trip or a tour to go and research an instrument or a folk art form, I prefer staying with the people or the actual artists, उनके परिवार के साथ, ताकि मुझे पता चले कि वो रहते कैसे हैं, उनका दिनक्रम कैसे होता है, like how is their day, how what do they eat for their lunch and dinner, what's their cuisines, and how do they like probably spend their days. and so I get a gist of the language and the diction as well. ताकि मैं जब अगर कोई गाना परफॉर्म कर रहा हूँ अलग स्टेज से किसी साथ लाइक परफॉर्म कर रहा हूँ, तो ऐसे ना साउंड हो जाए कि एक मराठी लड़का, एक महाराष्ट्र से मराठी लड़का ट्राई कर रहा है एक बंगाली गाना गाने के लिए, या फिर एक हिमाचली गाना गाने के लिए, या फिर पंजाबी गाना. सो या लेट्स डू वन सॉन्ग विद दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट. अरे पीरिति को ठाले आता, अरे पीरिति को ठाले आता, ओ आता लागले पुरे छाड़बे ना. ओ आता लागले पुरे छाड़बे ना. गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. अरे पीरी को ताले आता, अरे पीरी को ठाले आता, अरे पीरी को ठाले आता, पीरी को ठाले आता, ओ आता लागले पुरे छाड़बे ना. गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. अरे एक पीरिते शिव शशान बशी, एक पीरिते शिव शशान बशी, अरे एक पीरिते बोलाओ दो. गीत गोविंद प्रजापति, गीत गोविंद प्रजापति, गीत गोविंद प्रजापति, गीत गोविंद प्रजापति. एराल के कोई जना, गोले माले पीरी कोरोना. Yeah, so that was Gole Male for you. Thank you. So, moving on from here. So yes, and so this is what briefly folk striking is about, and I'm glad to have a lot of musician friends who tag along with me. जब हम लोग इस project के performances करते हैं basically, which is even more wider and bigger, and I have friends along who come up and we go live on stage. हम लोग इसके तीन basically I've divided the project into three parts. One comes the research, to actually go and research about it, which I've already told you about. I'm gonna be coming to a little interesting किस्सा, I would say, जिसके बारे में like मैंने कहा था किस्से जो है that have taken place on this research and my experiences. Second part is the social media thing, to connect with people like you and back that love and blessings from you guys, so that we get motivated enough to keep working on this cause, to study and reach and take more Indian folk music, बहुत rich Indian folk traditional music, to a lot of people basically worldwide. We can reach with your help and with support, we can all surely reach. And the third is the live concerts that we do, and जो कि फिलहाल बंद है because of the pandemic and the situations that we are just coming out of. And since I I just hit that note, I would really like to say this to our viewers that though the festive season is coming, abhi just Dasra ho gaya, Navratri Dasra, but now Diwali is coming soon, and we are yet not completely out of this pandemic zone, or the coronavirus thing. I would request you, all my Indian brothers, all my viewers, all our viewers and brothers, sisters, everyone relatives, to be as careful as possible and be as responsible, and yeah, and then celebrate these festivals more calmly, subtly, and with your family members inside your home. Just hi bye from here there is okay, but no social gatherings is a must. Yes. So let's do some anything grooving, and I'm gonna be playing this instrument now, which is called the Adivasi Mandal, and it's played in parts of Bengal. It's in the bordering parts of Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh region, and that's the sound. And yeah, and then I would probably be sharing a few kissas connected to this instrument. Okay, so I'll stand and play. So yes. Pindare pola sere po, popola bomo. O pindare pola sere po, popola bomo. O nente ki dure dol kaate, nente ki dure dol kaate, o kaate re. Yes, so that was the mother. So yes, I'm coming. You are associated with theater also. Yeah, but yes. I mean, to be honest, yes, I love it. Like I am associated with theater and acting and writing in a certain way, definitely, because I have a lot of friends and from the theater industry or acting field and things. And but the thing is, actually, I had at a point of time I had to make a decision, and or आणि मी खूप confused होतो basically. Like not basic, honestly, not confused basically. But I do a lot of things basically. I've done my applied arts. I've studied my applied arts and specialized as an illustrator. I was working as a tattoo artist. Basically, a lot of people ask me who funds your project, who funds the project Volkswagen, or who funds your tours. Do you have a financer, producer? So no, and I'm happy to have understood that perspective or a point as well early in the life that you need to work hard to get through or do anything for that matter. So I was working as a tattoo artist after I passed my college, and whatever money I would make from that profession and musical shows, I would invest in the project. And theater, yes, theater, but my main interest is script and screenplay writing and direction. And I've directed a lot of few short films. I've written my feature length films, and it's ready. And atta se kaam se like I'm into a process of making a film basically. So that is on like a filmmaker process kind of thing. And yes, so coming back to little music back again. So the instrument which I just played, which I mentioned, is called the Adivasi Madal. Is played in the bordering parts of Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, that region which borders. And yeah, and there is also a place in Bengal called Purulia, basically, जहाँ पे छौ नृत्य परफॉर्म किया जाता है. छौ नृत्य वहां से है, रीजन से. एंड छौ डांस, छौ नृत्य इसको काफी सारे लोग छाऊ छाऊ बोलते हैं, बट इट्स कॉल्ड छौ छौ. सो छौ नृत्य का एक खासियत ऐसी कि इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ बॉडी स्ट्रेंथ एंड aerobatic movements and those it needs a lot of strength and movements and things. So I had gone there to study what exactly, how do they practice, उनका वार्म अप कैसे रहता है, उनके movements जो है, क्योंकि छौ नृत्य में basically there are masks, big heavy masks and costumes that the dancers have to carry, and they dance with them. So just doing the movements without the things is easy because you have to dance. But when it comes, I wanted to check actually what's the weight and things, details. तो वो स्टडी करने के लिए जब मैं गया था, तो फर्स्ट लाइक 5-6 दिन तो मेरे इसी में निकल गया कि गाँव जाके ढूंढ रहा हूँ. बेसिकली आई एम ट्राइंग टू सर्च फॉर दीज आर्टिस्ट, बट आई कुडंट फाइंड देम एनीवेयर. So my last chance was this, to check with a taxi driver that he could help me. And luckily I was gonna leave that place, Purulia, and go to Santiniketan to either study something else if I couldn't find these musicians or these artists. तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि हाँ, एक जगह है अयोध्या पहाड़ करके, एक जगह है पहाड़ के अंदर एक जगह पे आपको लेके जाता हूँ, यहाँ से काफी दूर है, 200 किलोमीटर. वहां पे शायद आपको ये लोग मिल सकते हैं. And then I agreed to what he said because I anyway wanted to try to go. So I took the cab, और मैं और मेरे कुछ दोस्त हम लोग निकल के उनके साथ चले गए. वहां पे गाड़ी जाके एक जगह पे रुकती है, लाइक एक चाय टपरी जैसी जगह है, वहां पे रुकती है. हमारे ड्राइवर साहब बोलते हैं कि आप अंदर ही बैठे रहिए, मैं जाके आ रहा हूँ. वो बाहर जाते हैं, वो टपरी में से वापिस आने के टाइम उनके साथ एक आदमी को लेके आते हैं. Then that guy sits on the wheel and now he's driving us basically, और अंदर जहाँ पे रास्ते ही नहीं है, तो खेती बाड़ी जैसे रास्तों में से गाड़ी लेके 2 घर के बीच में जाके कार स्टॉप्स, और ये बोलते हैं कि यहाँ पे आपको जो चाहिए मिल जाएगा. एंड देन ये हमको इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं वहां के छौ नृत्य के डांसर्स और फैमिली ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल आर्टिस्ट से, जिनसे सब जानकारी हमें मिलती है. हम लोग गाड़ी में बैठते हैं, वापस निकलते हैं आने के लिए. गाड़ी फिर वही टपरी पे रुकती है, जो 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 भाई साहब हमें लेके गए थे उतरते हैं, अंदर जाते हैं. फिर लौटने के समय I asked the driver it was like very, I was very inquisitive, like to, or curious, basically curious to know who was this person and how exactly did he know that if you go exactly. That is when the driver told me that this guy was an ex Naxalite basically. वहाँ पे बहुत सारी Naxal activities, because that's an area which connects 3 4 states: Bihar, Bengal, western parts of Bengal, northern parts of Jharkhand, and all. It's a territory in between these. So it becomes easier for the Naxalites to escape anywhere they want and things like. But long story short, he told me that he was an ex-Naxalite basically, and now that he's left all those activities. But things like this have also happened, that people like this have helped me on my journey to fetch information about this thing. And that's the best part about being in India. No matter which corner, wherever you are, there would be sources. And yes, little intense, I would say. Sometimes I have to be very careful in with this researchers. I have had life threatening experiences as well when I was in extreme tribal area somewhere in Nagaland, basically because of communication, language communication barriers and things. Misunderstandings हो जाते हैं. So yeah, I have to be very. But nothing that nevertheless, and every time that I come back from a tour, and when I perform, and when I get that energy back from you guys, from the audience, from people, it just takes me off to a different level altogether. This one maybe last few instruments maybe, and last few songs or instruments, and maybe I can answer all the questions are always welcome. आपको कुछ भी पूछना हो, कुछ भी जानना हो चीजों के बारे में, I'll be checking the questions, and yeah, I'll keep checking the questions and I'll answer them for you. So yeah, maybe just, so this here is the kartal. Basically, these are the kartals, and with this. Yes, because of music, yeah, absolutely. Because of music, I've met a lot of people in my life from across the country. Not only country, but I'll tell you it. Thanks for putting up that and reminding me. Basically, it's not only about the country. Music has so much power. अगर मैं एक यहाँ आज भी किसी भी कोने में फंसा हुआ हूँ, I at least know someone over there through music. Music has connected me to people across, who can get me out of trouble or any situation, help me out of any situation. So I've met a lot of beautiful people across not only the country but across world, who have really, like, music has really helped me to connect with them to a different eternal level actually, basically. So these are your kartals here. Maybe I'll just try playing a backing So, okay, I'll play the kartal. These are the Rajasthani kartals. They played in the state of Rajasthan, and I'll play it quickly, play it without a backing track. Yeah, so these are the kartals, and these instrument which is used in Bali in a lot of meditative forms. and then there are these small instruments. चिपळ्याची आठवण, right? Yeah, like बरोबर. So like the sound of the kartal. Then there are here. So basically, music has frequencies, just like we humans. Music has different frequencies, basically. Uh, I would just like to talk a bit technical so that I could explain you a bit more. So, like for example, this instrument here in my hand is called the bagal bacha. It's played in northern parts of northern Indian states, and UP and those parts. See, like, there are these frequencies when I apply tension basically on the skins, on the skins or the surface. When there's tension, it changes the pitch, it modulates the sound. So it right, but म्हणजे हे बांधून ठेवल्यामुळे ते होतंय basically. And when so it's exactly what recently has been happening with us. We are all stuck, especially during the first few months of the strict lockdown that was imposed. And हम लोग ने सुना ही होगा इस लॉकडाउन के दरमियान काफी सारे केसेस या चीजें जैसे मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में, and people suffering from a lot of these because they are not used to sit inside the house or inside four rooms locked in with no fresh air, no going out, no meeting friends, no meeting people, all for the good though. But a lot of these mental health issues started rising up during them. And what suddenly struck me is because I mentioned when I apply tension on this thing, it creates a different type of thing. When there's tension here in the head or that stress is basically one reason that has most of the like it's got the maximum percentage, creating maximum percentage of deaths all across the world basically. And a lot of people or friends or people that I know who have been facing these problems, sometimes it's difficult for them to get out of it, which leads to bad things. So I don't want to get there. But what I would like to share from my point of view is I would want to show you a few of my paintings that I did. इसके पहले get very busy with either films, directing music for films, or traveling, or research work, and I would never make myself time for making paintings. What I realized was the lockdown gave me opportunities to write my own songs, write more films, and work on the screenplays and films. It gave me enough time to understand what life we were running at a pace that was very difficult to breathe, and now suddenly it came to a pace there where we didn't understand कि क्या करे इतना time 24 घंटे कैसे बिताए. So that's when I started writing new songs, writing creative things, and making more paintings. And I'm gonna show you a few of my paintings here quickly. So and with that, it's not just that. It could be any one of you. आप में से कोई भी हो सकता है. एक कैनवास, एक पेपर, एक बोर्ड, कुछ भी लेके 5 कलर, 6 कलर, whatever colors, you could take a brush and just start painting. And my personal experience out of painting is this: that it has always given me joy and a hope and a fun element that goes on in my head and heart while I'm painting something. It makes me happy. I cannot express how much. There's this painting. यहाँ पे एक second. I'm gonna switch the camera so I can show you the painting better. So there is this painting that I recently made. उसके बाद there are more paintings which just because I found time, I could go on working with them. Then there's this. Then there's this which is in process, which is still in process. And there's this. And there's this, and then there is this, and a few more basically. But what I would really wish to say is, it doesn't matter what. Basically, honestly, it doesn't matter what. If I go on to sell these paintings in a gallery or what matters most is the time when I spend with the paintings, when I'm playing with the colors on the canvas, or the time that I'm spending trying to write something. Is my brain is actually making me think कि अभी क्या करें, मैं इसके आगे क्या लिख सकता हूँ, इसके आगे कौन सा स्ट्रोक कलर का, कौन सा स्ट्रोक, कौन सा कलर दे सकता हूँ, कौन से पैलेट में क्या कलर यूज कर सकता हूँ. दैट टाइम द ब्रेन इज एक्चुअली मेकिंग यू थिंक on something and forgetting all your worries, stress, and unwanted thoughts and things, which really helps better to come out of these situations. And I would really like to share this little point that no matter let people not judge you on anything. ये मैंने पेंटिंग बनाया है, ये मैंने गाना लिखा है, ये मैंने स्टोरी लिखी है, अच्छी है बुरी है, there's no one in this world who should judge you basically, and you shouldn't be worried of anything that you do that people judge you. So take up an hobby, develop an hobby, pick up an instrument, try to learn an instrument so that your brain and you have some activities to do throughout any situation that you are in. Maybe I'll just play a few things on the guitar before we wind up and go to the questions. भारतातील इतर राज्यातील वाद्य असली तरी बऱ्याच वाद्यांमध्ये आणि आपल्याकडच्या वाद्यांमध्ये साम्य दिसतं. हो, नक्कीच बऱ्याच सगळ्या वाद्यां, जसं मी मगाशी म्हणालो की बरेच सगळ्या इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स आहेत ना, त्याच्यामध्ये बरचसं लाईक मे बी रिदम्स किंवा the characteristic or the styles with they are played instruments. आता एक्झाम्पल, माझ्या हातात गिटार आहे. मगाशी मी एक गाणं वाजवलं बंगाली दोताऱ्यावर, राईट, आणि that was a string instrument without frets, right? And one second, can't. Yeah. So that was a string instrument without frets, and I played a song on that. Now I have a guitar which is completely a Western instrument, which has got nothing much to do with Indian music, especially Indian folk music, the nights. But since you mentioned this, I would really want to quickly demonstrate this. So I had played a song for you guys, and I'm gonna be playing the same song on the guitar, so you understand how the relativity comes. Gole male piri corona, gole male piri corona, gole male piri corona. Are piri di gostale ata, are piri di gostale ata, are piri di gostale ata, piri di gostale ata. O ata lagle pore charbe na. So that is what it is. Like, it's got different characteristics, each and every instrument, पण त्याच्यात साम्य नक्कीच आहे. आणि yeah, I love playing Indian music on the guitar as well. वेगळ्या ठिकाणाची गाणी झाली. सो मे बी you are a multi-talented artist. One art helps you in other art, like music helps you in painting. Yes, very good question. Very good question. Chiplyas are very good but difficult to play. Yes, definitely. The karta is actually a very difficult to play, and it takes practice. And the fun part for me, side A and side B, is side B if it was for going on stage or performing it for an audience. But the most important and the fun part that I love most is the part one, which comes, which has involves practicing an instrument or an art form. And coming to your question, Shubhangi, you are multi-talented artist. Is one art helps you in other art, like music helps in painting? Definitely, it definitely helps. I would also like to give one little secret to each and every one of you who are here and who would watch this stream later, that one art form, example, I did my studies in applied arts, commercial arts, when I was supposed to pass out of the college and go in advertising field. But I had never planned myself to go into advertising. But relating to this question, I would really like to mention that how art forms help you. Any art form that matter makes you think, basically. So if it's music, and if I'm playing a musical piece while making a certain painting, then that musical piece is having something on my having an influence on my head, basically. Is making me think likewise. Similarly, if I'm playing a guitar or if I'm playing any other instrument, it passes on a different type of an energy inside me, and my brain starts thinking accordingly. So that thinking, if I continue it and take it into an art form, for example, writing a script or a screenplay for a movie or a film, की ह्यानंतर काय लिहिलं तर ते इंटरेस्टिंग होईल. बेसिकली sometimes there's a block, writer's block, or for a composer composing music there's a block, and you just play with colors. If I'm working on a song and if I'm blocked, I cannot think now. It's like there's a block, creative block. मला ह्याच्या पुढे काय करायचं समजत नाही. So might as well take a break from that thing for a moment or for some time. Go to a different hobby or an art form that I can maybe practice or do, or like a painting, and it really helps my brain refresh and get those energies back or thinking powers back. So definitely they are even if they are not connected or they are connected, for different people it matters differently, but it really helps. It really helps. So taking the session on a fun note, and Goan music has always been fun. Goan folk music, Goan traditional music. And maybe you guys, wherever you guys are, when the chorus part comes, I'm sure ज्यांना कोंकणी येत असेल, माहिती असेल कोंकणी, त्यांना जर गायचं असेल तर तुम्ही गाऊ शकता. तिकडे आहात. आणि otherwise you could just dance, enjoy. Sango Katarin kuitu gelele, Sango Katarin kuitu gelele, Dongra gelele re dongra gelele, Dongra gelele re dongra gelele, Dongrar sango tuka kongo mealo, Dongrar sango tuka kongo mealo, Pakar melalo re pakar melalo, Pakar melalo re pakar melalo, Pakar sango tuka kite satailo, Pakar sango tuka kite satailo, Pakar hata kurun chadang vatsalo, Pakar hata kurun chadang vatsalo, Maya Maya yo, 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 Maya Maya yo. Undria mojo mama, ani hausa katuka. Undria mojo mama, hausa katuka. Ya Madhur bicha pilan lage kere mandinaka. Ya Madhur bicha pilan lage kere mandinaka. Undir mama ailo, ani kati ko nalipilo. Undir mama ailo, ani kati ko nalipilo. Ya Madhur bicha pilan nikaya kasakailo. Ya Madhur bicha pilan nikaya kasakailo. Maya Maya yo, 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 Maya Maya yo. Re mama re, mama, re mama, re. Re mama, re mama, re. Re mama, re mama, re. मोगांकडून कजार झालो ओळसू झाली पारा मी पाहिलं माझी डिस्को नाचता तरा 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 ओळसकडून वेगळं बसा बरा 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 चुरी केलं सगळ्या उदकांकडून मोरा रे मामा रे मामा रे रे मामा रे मामा रे रे मामा रे मामा रे रे मामा रे मामा रे. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for being a part of this evening session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sankarshan Foundation, for having me tonight and letting me share my journeys. I'll be here for some time. If you got any questions, anything that you might want to ask, ki kuch bhi ho, I'm here and happy to reply to all the questions. Sanjay ji, extremely thankful of you for the foundation and creating these type of events and activities to keep people bound together. So, आपको बहुत thanks for you. Thank you very much that for you guys for tuning in. I'm glad that you enjoyed. Please check my YouTube channel called Volkswagen, where I keep doing a lot of videos and sharing things. Do check my Instagram. I'm more active there as well, Madhur Padwal Volkswagen, so that you could enjoy more of these instruments and detailed informations and different types of jam sessions that I do with different musicians from different places, different things. पण फरमाईश ओके नक्कीच करता आली असती पण ऍक्च्युली मी एक इन्स्ट्रुमेंट तुम्हाला दाखवतो मराठी आता एक मिनिट हे आहे तारपा इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आहे जे आपलं महाराष्ट्रातलं फोक इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आहे. बरेच सगळी ऑनेस्टली आता माझ्याकडे इथे बरेच सगळे मराठी इन्स्ट्रुमेंट नाही आहेत पण तारपा आहे. पण आता द प्रॉब्लेम इज दिस त्या तारप्यामध्ये ह्या सगळ्या इन्स्ट्रुमेंटची काळजी घेणं फार म्हणजे एक टास्क आहे आणि ह्या तारप्यामध्ये ऍक्च्युली देर आर सर्टन टाइप ऑफ अ पेस्ट बेसिकली विच हॅड अटॅक दिस तारपा इन्स्ट्रुमेंट. सो इट हॅज बीन त्याच्यामध्ये पेस्टिसाइड्स टाकलेत बेसिकली. सो दे हॅव आस्क्ड मी नॉट टू प्ले इट फॉर अ व्हाईल. सो बट नेक्स्ट टाइम मे बी वेन वी डू समथिंग डेफिनेटली काहीतरी मराठी करू नक्कीच करू. Or maybe once the live concert starts, when we have the full Volkswagen man. There is Mandar here. Mandar Bilwarkar is a very good friend of mine, associated with Volkswagen for years now. Mandar is a colleague and a great friend and a great musician. He's a singer. Hi Mandar. हो फरमाईश. Yeah, but unfortunately खूप सगळे प्रत्येक वेळी जेव्हा मला विचारतात लोक की काहीतरी मराठी बेसिकली मी स्वतः मराठी असल्यामुळे मी स्वतः वाजवतो असं समजतो ह्याच्यातनं. बट लाईक नाही जोक्स अपार्ट मे बी इन अ लाईव्ह कॉन्सर्ट आय डू अ व्हिडिओ फॉर यू गाईज लाईक विथ सम मराठी इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स वन्स दे आर हिअर. करंटली आय डोंट हॅव एनिथिंग ॲज ऑफ नाव इन माय म्युझिक रूम. मी कंपोज केलेलं एखादं गाणं. ओके ओके माझा एका करंटली आय एम वर्किंग ऑन माय ओन सिंगर सॉन्ग रायटर अल्बम. त्यातलं एक गाणं छोटासा गाणं चंक ऐकतो. जिंदगी कहती है मोहे कागज की कश्ती बना और फिर कहती है सोए 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 उसको जला. परिंदों की दुनिया एक पल में बंद पिंजरे से उड़ के हो गई आजाद, पर मेरी जिंदगी कटी पतंग की तरह ढूंढती चली राह। जिंदगी कहती है मोहे ख्वाबों की पतंग बना, और फिर कहती है सोए 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 उसको उड़ा। So this is the one that I'm releasing now, and so like stay tuned for the for my album release details as well. I'm working on a song now. Just recently arranged music and directed music to a song which will be in collaboration with the great Mame Khan ji, and we are releasing that song soon. We are shooting and releasing that song soon. And there are a lot of songs that are coming up which are in the library, which I cannot sing at the moment, Karan. They are yet to release, so releasing soon. Maybe one song, English song that I would like to do, because it's Kojagiri Purnima today, and I had written this song years back, and it has got something to do with moon. It's called Shimmered Moonlight. And nothing better than a song related to moon to probably end the session. It's an English song that I've written years back. It's on my album. It's called Shimmered Moonlight. Shimmered moonlight on the water that divides the sea. Deep inside the shimmered moonlight on the water that divides the sea. Deep inside, and your pretty smile is what matters more than the world. This time I'm ready to die on the darker side. Now hold your hands and swing down and make our lunch on the lonely shore, and break this wall to the jagged run. The shimmered moonlight on the water divides the sea. Live inside. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It was a great pleasure to be with you all, and I had fun. And thank you. And I'll tune out now. Yeah, song perfect closing, Zindagi. Yeah, and Zindagi is releasing soon now. And I hope you like the song, and the video is almost in the process. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shankarshas Foundation. Thank you, all lovely people, for helping me with the technical checks and everything today, and for the session. And it was great fun. It was great pleasure to be here performing this evening. Wish you all a happy Kojagiri Purnima and happy Eid, and stay safe, stay indoors, try to avoid social gatherings. Thank you very much. Take care, enjoy. See you. Good night.